Welcome to Actuate Water Faucet, an innovative blockchain faucet dedicated to revolutionizing water management in communities, especially in northeastern Kenya. By leveraging blockchain technology, Actuate Water ensures fair access to clean and reliable water sources. This initiative not only empowers economic prosperity and educational advancement, but also contributes to reduced crime rates. Our project incorporates a 3-day creative training program for community development workers. These workers will educate households about transformative change, what we call metanoia. This process involves envisioning the future they desire, understanding their current conditions, and mapping out how to achieve that future. Within the Actuate Water Faucet, we offer an innovative 8-week learning program. This hybrid program combines online and physical meetings, catering to diverse learning preferences and schedules. Participants actively engage in these sessions and earn tokens as incentives for their contributions. These tokens serve a dual purpose. They not only reward individual participation but also empower community development workers. With these tokens, workers can train households within their communities, amplifying the program's impact far beyond the immediate participants. This creates a cycle of empowerment and knowledge sharing, enhancing community resilience and well-being. Our solution facilitates economic activities like agriculture and small-scale businesses. It also alleviates the burden on children, particularly girls, who often miss school to fetch water from distant sources. Through Actuate Water's faucet, communities unlock their economic potential, promote sustainable growth, and foster a brighter future for all. Join us in transforming lives with Actuate Water. Together, we can build a sustainable and prosperous future. Welcome to Actuate Water Faucet, an innovative blockchain faucet dedicated to revolutionizing water management in communities, especially in northeastern Kenya. By leveraging blockchain technology, Actuate Water ensures fair access to clean and reliable water sources. This initiative not only empowers economic prosperity and educational advancement, but also contributes to reduced crime rates. Our project incorporates a 3-day creative training program for community development workers. These workers will educate households about transformative change, what we call metanoia. This process involves envisioning the future they desire, understanding their current conditions, and mapping out how to achieve that future. Within the Actuate Water Faucet, we offer an innovative 8-week learning program. This hybrid program combines online and physical meetings, catering to diverse learning preferences and schedules. Participants actively engage in these sessions and earn tokens as incentives for their contributions. These tokens serve a dual purpose. They not only reward individual participation but also empower community development workers. With these tokens, workers can train households within their communities, amplifying the program's impact far beyond the immediate participants. This creates a cycle of empowerment and knowledge sharing, enhancing community resilience and well-being. Our solution facilitates economic activities like agriculture and small-scale businesses. It also alleviates the burden on children, particularly girls, who often miss school to fetch water from distant sources. Through Actuate Water's faucet, communities unlock their economic potential, promote sustainable growth, and foster a brighter future for all. Join us in transforming lives with Actuate Water. Together, we can build a sustainable and prosperous future. Welcome to Actuate Water Faucet, an innovative blockchain faucet dedicated to revolutionizing water management in communities, especially in northeastern Kenya. By leveraging blockchain technology, Actuate Water ensures fair access to clean and reliable water sources. This initiative not only empowers economic prosperity and educational, but also contributes to crime rates. Our project incorporates a 3-day creative training program for community development workers. These workers will educate households about transformative change, what we call metanoia. This process involves envisioning the future they desire, understanding their current conditions, and mapping out how to achieve that future. Within the Actuate Water Faucet, we offer an innovative 8-week learning program. This hybrid program combines online and physical meetings, catering to diverse learning preferences and schedules. Participants actively engage in these sessions and earn tokens as incentives for their contributions. These tokens serve a dual purpose. They not only reward individual participation but also empower community development workers. With these tokens, workers can train households within their communities, amplifying the program's impact far beyond the immediate participants. This creates a cycle of empowerment and knowledge sharing, enhancing community resilience and well-being. Our solution facilitates economic activities like agriculture and small-scale businesses. It also alleviates the burden on children, particularly girls, who often miss school to fetch water from distant sources. Through Actuate Water's faucet, communities unlock their economic potential, promote sustainable growth, and foster a broad.
Thank you very much, Frida, for that video. And thank you everyone for joining the meeting today. My name is Barbara and I'll be the coordinator today. So good evening everyone and welcome to today's session on the roadmap from the current reality to the future we truly want. Our focus today is one of the most critical and crucial challenges of our time, which is water sustainability, particularly water harvesting. And water is not only important to life, but also central to agriculture, industry, and the well-being of our communities. Yet, as we look around the world, it's clear that our current water harvesting systems and sustainability systems are falling short. And in this session, we're going to explore how we can shift from today's water challenges to the future we envision, where water sustainability and water harvesting can be accessible, managed, and resilient in the face of climate change. Our discussion is going to center on 3 key areas. The first one is setting clear goals and objectives for water harvesting, which is vital. And it's also important that we define what success looks like so that we can work towards measurable and tangible outcomes. Secondly, we're going to develop a strategic plan for achieving this desired future. And this will include identifying the practical steps, partnerships, and innovations to bring about the change we want to see. And thirdly, we are going to look at the role of the Actuate token in driving this change. That means that we're going to delve into how technology, particularly the blockchain, AI, and tokenization, can play a transformative role in funding and incentivizing the water sustainability projects. So we're going to explore how these elements can create a pathway from the current reality to the future we truly want. So let's begin, and I'm going to invite our topic master, Mr. Wesonga, to take us through the topic. Emmanuel, you're welcome.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm Emmanuel, and today I'm excited to present on the roadmap from the current reality to the future and truly want. We truly want, with the focus on water harvesting. Water is a lifeblood of our planet, and in many parts of the world, the supply of water is inconsistent and unpredictable. Water harvesting offers a way to mitigate this by capturing, storing, and managing water, rainwater, and runoff for future use. In the presentation, we will explore how they set clear goals, develop a strategic plan, and leverage innovative tools like the Actuate tokens to drive meaningful progress in water harvesting. One, I'll begin on setting goals and objectives for the water harvesting. Our journey begins by establishing clear and measurable goals of water harvesting. With the impacts of climate change and increasing water scarcity, it's vital that we prioritize water collection, storage, and usage. I'll talk on the short-term objectives, whereby these could include expanding the use of rainwater harvesting system and households in communities, promoting small-scale water capture techniques, and educating people on the importance of harvesting water for daily use. The other point is on the long-term goals, whereby these would involve building large-scale infrastructure of water capture and storage, integrating water harvesting into agricultural practices, and making water harvesting as an essential part in urban planning and development. The key here is to ensure that our goals are not only achieved but also scalable, so they can make a significant impact on local and global water resources. Secondly, I'll talk on developing a strategic plan for achieving a desired future. Once we have defined our goals, the next step is to develop a comprehensive strategic plan to bring them to life. Firstly is the assessment of current resources, whereby we need to evaluate the current system in place for water harvesting and identity areas for improvement. This means looking at existing infrastructure, government policies, and local practices to find gaps where our efforts can make a difference. The other one is the innovative solution. Here, in order to succeed, we need to blend traditional water harvesting techniques and modern technologies. Simple systems like rooftops water collection can work alongside more advanced solutions like the underground storage tanks and smart monitoring system that optimize water use and storage. The other one is the collaboration and community engagement. On this, success in water harvesting requires partnership. We must involve local communities, government agencies, private companies, and NGOs to work together on large-scale water harvesting initiatives. Education and awareness campaigns will also be essential in helping communities adopt water harvesting as part of their daily lives. The other one, which is the last one, is the continuous evaluation. Under continuous evaluation, a dynamic issue like water harvesting needs ongoing evaluation and adaptation. As we move forward, it's essential to monitor the effectiveness of our water harvesting system, refine our strategies, and respond to new challenges as they emerge. The third topic, and which is the last one, I'll discuss on the role of the Actuate token in driving changes. One of the key drivers of change in water harvesting will be to use the Actuate tokens as a tool that can help initiatives, participation, and ensure transparency. Under this, I will discuss three, starting the tokenizing water harvesting project. Here, through tokenization, we can create digital assets that represent contribution to water harvesting projects. These tokens can be used to attract funding and ensure that there is a reliable stream of resources for developing new systems or improving existing ones. The second one is the incentivizing participation. Here, the Actuate token can be used to reward individuals, companies, and communities that adopt water harvesting techniques. By turning water conservation efforts to financial incentivized action, we can inspire a great number of people to get involved. The last one is the ensuring transparency with the blockchain. On this, by using blockchain technology, we can track every transaction and project related to water harvesting in a transparent and secure way. This ensures that stakeholders can trust the process and be confident that funds are being used effectively, whether it's for local rainwater collection system or a large-scale community water storage project. In conclusion, the path from our current water scarcity issues to a future where water harvesting is widespread and effective start with setting the right goals, creating a strong strategic plan, and leveraging innovative solutions like the Actuate tokens to accelerate progress by focusing on local and global efforts. We can create a suitable future, global efforts, and ensuring that communities, government, and organizations are all engaged. We can create a suitable future where water is available and property managed for generation to come. Thank you all for your attention. I look forward to our discussion on how we can make this vision reality. Thanks for listening. Back to you, Barbara.
Okay, thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that insightful presentation on such a critical topic, and you've really laid out the foundation for us to understand the journey from where we are today to the future we truly want. I'd like to echo some of the key points you've touched on and expand on why this roadmap is not just a concept, but a vital strategy for our collective progress. First and foremost, you've highlighted the importance of setting clear goals and objectives for water harvesting, and I want to say that this is the cornerstone of any successful initiative, and without clear targets, we lack the direction necessary to create a lasting impact. And water harvesting isn't just a necessity, it's the key to sustainable communities, ensuring food security and supporting industries that depend on a stable water supply. And by defining what success looks like, we ensure every action we take is aligned with the bigger picture. And also, by setting goals, which is the first step, developing a strategic plan to achieve these objectives is where we take the action. And we cannot afford to approach water harvesting in a fragmented or reactive manner. And this is about creating a robust, actionable plan that ties together policy, technology, and community engagement. And it also means that we have to identify the resources, partnerships, and innovations that will help us to address our current challenges and prepare for future demands. And a strategic plan provides the roadmap that guides us towards meaningful and measurable progress. Now, one of the most exciting aspects of this roadmap, as Manuel discussed, is the role of the Actuate token. And we are living in a time when technology, particularly the blockchain, offers new ways to drive change. And the Actuate token isn't just a financial tool, it's an enabler for sustainable development. And it incentivizes collaboration, encourages participation, and creates transparency in how we approach water harvesting projects. And through this innovative use of tokenomics, we are unlocking the new potential for financing water solutions, rewarding stakeholders, and ensuring that communities are directly involved in shaping their own futures. And what is clear from this roadmap is that we need to be both visionary and pragmatic. We can no longer settle for quick fixes or short-term solutions. The future we want will require sustainable effort, innovation, and commitment from all of us. And whether it's by setting ambitious goals or implementing strategic plans or leveraging new technologies like the Actuate token, our actions today will determine the reality we live in tomorrow. So I want to encourage all of us to not only take aspiration from the roadmap that Emmanuel has presented, but also take ownership. This is our shared journey, and each one of us has a role to play in building the future we truly want. One where water harvesting is sustainable, accessible, and transformative for communities worldwide. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that. I want to take this opportunity to welcome our CEO, Dr. Macharia, to give us a few remarks. Dr. Ri, you're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Barbara, and thank you, Emmanuel. Now, water harvesting. As I say all the time in our meetings here, is that we talk about water scarcity. Water scarcity is a narrative of the unfaithful or the faithless, people who do not believe in the abundance. The one thing you have to believe is that we have abundance of water. You cannot create more water than there is water today, because creation is finished. Why is it written that creation is finished? Yeah, it's in the Holy Bible in Genesis. On the 6th, creation was finished. And what happened on the 6th? He said, and let us create man in our own image. And in our own image, we create the man. And we create the man with the woman. So men and women were created on day 6. Now the story of Genesis 2 is different. And I'm going to tell you the difference between the man of Genesis 1 and the man of Genesis 2. Because that is on day 6, that's about Genesis chapter 1, verse 25, 28, where you have the man being created after all creation is finished, and the woman being created together with the man after all creation is finished. That man created is the spiritual man, the man of spirit, the man of abundance, right? The man who does not know scarcity, the man who believes that we don't have scarcity, we don't have all this poverty and all that stuff, the stuff that you hear from the local media today. The man who does not know about war, conflict, fighting one another, because that man is a man of abundance and the woman of abundance. They have everything. And so they were commanded, this is the great commandment, the very first one, that take all these creations that I've given you over the last 5 days, from the day one, the creation of light, all the way to the creation of rainforest and animals and reptiles. Take dominion. See, take dominion is the message. Take dominions of my creation. Dominion means that, first of all, you acknowledge the abundance which is given to you by grace. It's free. It's there already. Number 2, it's there by providence. It's provided for free. Take dominion of my creations and make use of them. But then comes around the man of Genesis 2, who is a natural man, the carnal mind. That's the mind of man called the carnal mind, which is known as Adam. Adam was created from the soil. See, that man is different from the man of Genesis 1, who is a spiritual man who do not know lack. He doesn't know scarcity. Even his woman together, they don't know scarcity, and they know life is a source of abundance. It's full of abundance, and that life full of abundance is also referred to in the Holy Scripture as Eden. Eden, in the Garden of Eden, we are not told of places where people are lacking water. All the trees were growing up well, they were producing all the fruits, except that after Adam now, the natural man, which is made of soil, with a carnal mind, he was given commandment, listen, there's going to be another tree. There are going to be 2 trees, the tree of life, which is the tree in Eden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And they are going to be bearing fruits. You can eat all the fruits you want, but do not eat the fruits from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And that is the problem. But then someone called the serpent, who is also known the mind of man, your own mind, is a brood of vipers, as it is described by John in John chapter 1. Serpents, the mind keeps telling you that there is scarcity. That is knowledge of good and evil. Scarcity is evil, poverty is evil, lack is evil, absence. So it keeps telling you that there's something called lack, absence, things like that. And the mind of man is able to see things that are polar opposites. For example, light in Genesis 1 is continuous. Light has no beginning and has no end. It's Alpha and Omega, forever and ever. It's continuous. So is light. But now in the mind of man, things come in truncated goods and evils, like polar opposites, polarity or binary. They come in binary. You either have it or you don't. And you can see that is what has instructed the science of economics. It is a science of trying to create conditions for have and have not. That's the mind of man creates that. So it's based on the man of Genesis 2, but then all of us are together there. So there's no scarcity of water because the water that's created is sufficient for all of us. All we have to do is follow the very commandment, take dominion of his creations. Now creation, meaning that water is created, how do we take dominion of the rainwater? It rains for all of us two hefty seasons. One is called the long rain, the other one is called the short rains. As it's raining, instead of taking dominion of the water that is coming from heaven, pure water, unpolluted, clean, nothing, we run to the house and sleep, say, oh, it's raining so hard, we can't do any work. So we sleep. Yes, and are we now being the man of Genesis 1, taking dominion? Or we are being cowed to hide from the rain? Remember in that story in Genesis 1, when the Lord God came around and asked Adam, where are you? He said, we are hiding. We are hiding. Why are you hiding? He said, because we are naked. They were caught naked. They were caught naked because that's, and he said, who told you you are naked? It's like the same thing that you run into the house and hide from the rain, and then you say, there is scarcity of water. Who told you there's scarcity of water? Who told you? That's the question from the Lord God himself. Who told you there's scarcity? There's no such thing as scarcity. How did you know? Just because we know that there's scarcity because we went hiding under the roof, that it should be the one collecting that water and putting it in nice places so that we can use it for the dry season. But instead of doing that, we hide ourselves. What is that? What is that, ladies and gentlemen? What is that? What is your diagnosis according to what I've described? The diagnosis is known as original sin. Original sin. Original sin is when you hide instead of exacting dominion of the creations of God, which are created free by providence. Instead of exacting dominion over the creations, you start saying this creation is going to destroy me, so I'm going to hide myself. Have you seen when there's rain in Nairobi City? You would think that people have been drinking and they have gone crazy, or they're high on something. Road accidents multiply. People cannot even wait to leave the office to go home because they're going to be there worried that the rain is going to do what? Yeah, what is the rain going to do? So people start running away. They go out of their mind, out of their mind. And the roads are impassable because it rained. Can you believe it? As if rain is, rain is an abomination. Whereas rain is the one that gives us water, which is a product of life. We try to run away and hide from rain as if it's going to destroy us. You see that? That's the original sin. So we commit the original sin every day. And then when the dry season comes, you say, oh my God, there's no water. There is no water. And I say, oh my God, do you think God is listening? Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. That means, and that's Paul who said that way back talking to the Galatians. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. If God has given you stuff in abundance, your providence for free, rain that nobody pays for, there's no metered tokens that you're paying with tokens from for him to open up the skies and the rain to come down. It comes down free for all of us. But then when it comes down, we run away from it and we hide from it instead of taking dominion. So what we are saying here at Actuate Nation is enough of that. Enough of that. Yeah, wacha hiyo maneno. There's abundance of water. There's enough of that. Talking about scarcity, there is no scarcity. Let us take dominion as is commanded to the spiritual man. Be the man of spirit who is able to gain access to the Father's house. Did you know that in my Father's house are many mansions? Many, many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I am going there to prepare a place for you. And when I come back, when I'm done, I'll come for you. Do you see that message? Now that is in John 14. In my Father's house are many mansions. Those many mansions are described in Genesis 1 to Genesis 27. That's what the creation itself, that's why it's finished. There's nothing else you can create. Yeah, nobody's going to create anything new that has never been seen. And this thing that you see, they come from the things that are not seen, but those things that are not seen are kind of hidden. It's there in the creation. So in my Father's house are many mansions. All you have to do is believe about that. If you don't believe, now you become like Adam, who wants now to eat the fruits from the tree of knowledge of good and evil because he does not believe. And you know what happened to that man, that gentleman, is this woman. As soon as they did that, they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. So they went out there. They were living in a place without water. And they say, oh, there's scarcity of water because of the unbelief, because they are faithless. They cannot understand that scarcity they are talking about is failure to gain access to their spirit self, or let us say in plain English, failure to get access to their imagination. Imagine what you can do when it is raining. Instead of running away from the rain, imagine what you can do to harvest that water. So imagination is the answer. Yes, that's what it's all about. And that's why you go to school, not that you can, your imagination can get stifled, but the unfortunate outcome of all our schooling and technical education, let's say the academic establishment, the unfortunate outcome of it is to stifle imagination, because a lot of that narrative about scarcity comes from the academic establishment. Yeah, that's what it comes from. Because there's some people in that academic establishment who are in the opposite side of, who are feasting from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And because of that, they teach the gospel of absence of imagination. So what we are talking about is open your imagination so you can ascend to your higher self, to reach to that person, that your spiritual man, your spiritual self, to reach there is what's called ascension, to ascend in your consciousness. Instead of believing in scarcity, you believe in abundance. To do away with that original sin, that's to get back to the tree of life, which now you see the tree of life is water. To get back there is what's called ascension. Okay, that ascension in your consciousness, and that consciousness is your imaginations. Now you can imagine, I'm saying you again, you can imagine a house anywhere in this world has got a roof. Just a house. There's no house without a roof. Even an adobe, those adobes for the Native Americans, and the manyatas, maybe manyatas have a roof, but they cannot capture the water. And that could explain why there's no water harvesting among people living in Manyata. But every house, and I think what the message should be, even if people are living in such houses, whether they are igloos for the Eskimos out there near the North Pole, or the adobes, or the manyatas, should have a roof that will collect the water from the rain that comes by divine providence. Okay, comes by divine providence. You don't pay for it. There's no meter counting how many liters, how many gallons of water have you received today. No, no, it's free. Where would you have a roof? that is not collecting water that comes down by divine providence. And then, in order for that to make sense, you say to make sense in life, not economic sense, to make sense in life, you have to collect sufficient water that can take you through the dry season. And that does not come, it's not the quantity of rain that you're receiving, whether I say, oh, we receive only 0.005 inches per year. That they call precipitation. Forget all that. What you run in academic, narrative. The precipitation is not related to amount of water that you can collect for your own life for the whole year. So long as you collect, as we say in Swahili, kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba. Yeah. If you don't collect the little that comes because you're told it's too little by the geography teachers, or the precipitation is so low, so you don't believe that you can collect that precipitation, then you know that those who have little, even the little they think they have is taken away and they have nothing. See that? All these things are written in your holy scriptures. If you don't collect that little precipitation because you're saying that is so little, then even the little you think you have is taken away and you have absolutely nothing. And there'll be no water. And they'll be saying the scarcity of water. So what was scarce? Was there scarcity of precipitation, or there was scarcity of collecting the little precipitation that's coming to you every single day? See? That's what imagination is all about. Expanding your consciousness. Let's say ascending, because it's about ascension. Going from low level consciousness. And so what we are talking about here in Actuate Nation, to actuating your consciousness so you can ascend. It's like a ladder going where? Yeah, you got it, going to heaven. I think Elijah saw that ladder. People are climbing up and down in Elijah's vision. Elijah saw a ladder linking to heaven. That's what it's all about. That ladder, the ladder that comes from the ground, from the natural man, climbing to the spiritual man. The spiritual man is the man capable of imagination, that what to imagine, not what other people are calling little. That the spiritual man, or the man of high consciousness, the man who have the imagination, will not see little, but will see abundance. Okay, so every roof is a roof for capturing abundance of water. And imagine now, we have calculated and seen, that each roof should have at least 10 tanks, surrounded by 10 tanks, like a beautiful necklace. Where did you hear of a necklace? Have you ever seen a necklace? A necklace has got what? Has got beads. Beads, adorned by beads. These are jewels. Nice jewels surrounding. So you can imagine a roof surrounded by 10 tanks, like beads, surrounding the necklace of a beautiful bride. Beautiful bride surrounded with a necklace adorned by beautiful beads. 10 tanks. So that's the beauty. So you say that anyone who is constructing a house, and you know that all the professionals here are going to construct a house, do not forget to adorn your bride with a necklace, with a series of beads, which are not, it's not one bead, like one pendant. One bead is called a pendant, big one, a rock. That's a heavy rock. No, you need more than one bead. If you can do a pendant, you create a huge tank. So we are talking about tanks. In the minimum number of tanks, we're talking about minimum number of tanks. And these are full-size tanks. I think they collect maybe 1,000 gallons. Minimum number of tanks you need is about 10, so you can have about 10,000 gallons for use. And they're collecting water during every rainy season. And of course, those tanks have to be connected with what? With a gutter, with the roof that is bringing the water to the gutters, and the gutters bring the water to the tanks. That is not deep science. Let us say, like people say around here, that's not a rocket science. It's something that everyone should do so long as they can expand their imagination. And so you do that, you see that scarcity of water vanishing. But you can only do that by faith. That's why it is written that faith will flatten mountains. So the mountain of absence of water flattens by just putting up tanks. And then people can say, oh, but we don't have money to buy all those tanks. Well, they don't have money because for those who do not have, even the little they think they have is taken away. So anyone who is teaching you the gospel of do not have is the man of Genesis 2. Yeah, that man, that is constricted imagination. Or let's say somebody who is blocking the pathway to ascent to that higher status of imagining, instead of complaining about absence of money to buy tanks. Think about how you can implement tanks progressively for your household. So long if you believe, what will happen according to Mark 11:14? If you believe, you shall receive. You see that? But the gifts of God do not come to those people who do not believe. Yeah, that's Paul. He said, the grace of God will not come to you if you do not believe. That's what it is. It does not come to you if you do not believe. If you have doubt, any inch of doubt, 1 inch, let's say even 1 iota, 1 gram, then it doesn't come at all. Because if you don't believe, that means you don't have faith in the idea that you can actually receive water that's abundance for you. You can receive water from that low precipitation, it becomes abundance, then you can never receive abundance. So, so our work here in Actuate Foundation is to actuate the attitude of abundance. To actuate the attitude of abundance so that people may believe. And then some people may not believe just by talking to them. We have to incentivize actuation of the attitude of abundance to awake the spirits. It's called awakening, to awaken that inner, it's called the inner man, the internal self. Who knows? By the way, that person, the person of Genesis 1, who is in every one of us, every one of you, is there just sleeping, is waiting for you to wake him up, or waiting for her, for you. Yeah, that person has no gender, either male or female, Genesis 1. So she's in everyone. And that person will awaken as soon as you say what? You decide. So it's a matter of decision. Decision to stop talking about scarcity, and decision to now reframe your mind towards abundance. And you tell your mind to stop telling you about to stop telling you about scarcity, because scarcity, the narrative of scarcity comes by who? By the serpent, who we are told in Genesis 2 came to Eve. So we don't want that serpent instructing us about anything. What we want is to go to the state of abundance so we can ascend to that place of abundance, but you can actuate that. So the way we plan to actuate this, and what is already happening, through our community economic development workers in the villages, that going from door to door, community economic development workers are those extension, like those agricultural extension workers who go teaching people about the right thing, the right way to do things, or even how to awaken that imagination that you have a roof, you only need to plug in 10 tanks. That's it. Teaching people in the communities, in the villages, families, teaching the heads of the households, teaching the women, the mothers, teaching the young children. And of course, we also want this message to go to all schools so that it can be integrated to the education system. So the community economic development workers, obviously, for their good work of teaching people, will be rewarded with Actuate token. So right now, we do not have anybody going out in the communities, telling people about the story of abundance, not to believe on the story of scarcity. You know, if you believe in scarcity, you kicked out of the Garden of Eden, you know, as it is written in the Holy Scriptures. Getting kicked out of the Garden of Eden means that you will suffer the absence of water because you said there is no water. See that? So the world is the way it is because of the way I am. If I say there's going to be scarcity of water, and I say that there's going to be scarcity of water because I said so. Because as soon as I say such a thing, so my consciousness switches off the spirit of abundance, and I am not able to access abundance. And so I end up being poor, without water, and being hungry. So it is in the narrative. So we want community economic development workers who receive incentives, or we can actually pay them with Actuate token. They can go from family to family to family, teaching families about abundance and how they can get this water that's given to us by providence, by grace, by free. We are not paying this water to anybody, by just figuring out how to harvest it. So when harvest means abundance, so we can get divine harvest. So then it means that we, as Emmanuel said, that's going to call for partnerships with people who make technologies for water harvesting. Technology for water harvesting, number one technology is called the roof. So all the companies that manufacture the roofs, they need to understand this message so they can go teaching people even when they're implementing a roof. They're installing a roof in somebody's house. It is no point installing a roof without installing gutters and without installing tanks. So as they're installing roof, they should also, now they will be also instructing the owners of the roof about the importance of putting that necklace of tanks around that roof, that beautiful roof, 10 tanks. So it is now we make it the duty of the roofing company to be educating people. And we are going to partnership with the roofing companies such as Kidani Mabati. You all know Kidani Mabati if you've seen their commercials. And we want to work with them so that they can help spread this gospel, this good news of abundance of water. And of course, what the roofing company will be telling the people who are installing roofs to say, did you know that you will use this roof to harvest lots of water that's sufficient for you, your own self, sufficient for your family, for drinking, cooking, and cleaning your house, and also for your animals. Yeah, and in fact, if you're good at it, we are going to even harvest sufficient water even for irrigation. See that? And so we're going to partnership with manufacturers, roof manufacturers, and other you could say water companies, the people making tanks. It becomes a partnership between roofing companies, gutter manufacturers, and what tank manufacturers. Of course, there are many, several tank manufacturers like Kenny Tank, Polytank, who must also be present in this partnership. So that's what Emmanuel is talking about when he talks about partnership. This thing has really nothing to do with the government of the day. The government of the day is your consciousness. Remember, you have been given authority to take dominion of the creations of Genesis 1. Okay? That is the government we are talking about. You are the government, just in case you did not know. You are the government. The government cannot come to you and tell you expand your consciousness. Your consciousness is already expanded. The only thing missing is access to that expanded consciousness. Okay, that's what you're saying. That's the only thing that's missing is the access to the expanded consciousness, and that's what we are actuating. Remember, yeah. So the partnerships we would create with people who already are on the brink of taking dominion of this abundance of water. And as we said, who are those partners? They are partners who are making roofing materials, partners who are making gutters, partners who are making tanks. We want them in, we know them by name. How good is that? So it's a simple job, simple duty. Yeah, you know Polytank, you know Kenny Tank, you know Mabati, you know Kandani Mabatis. So we already know the partners. What's remaining is just that ascension that we talked about, ascending to that spiritual man, to that higher consciousness of abundance. So then who else must be there? Which other partner? We need people who make pumps. Why do we need a pump? Because as you receive water, it's coming from heaven down by gravity. And that gravity, of course, gravity is nasty because gravity keeps things on the ground. Is gravity nasty or what? It's a force which was described to us by Isaac Newton. People did not know what keeps things on the ground. Why are we now fixed on the ground? Yeah, so we cannot argue with that. Again, gravity comes to us by providence, by grace, but you need a pump to pump water against gravity, to put it in an elevated tank so you can use it in your household for showers, for kitchen faucets. You can use it for what? For all other uses, even for irrigation, so that you can distribute it. Now that is what God is talking about, taking dominion. So he didn't say that I'm going to be giving you a pump, all right? So I'll make pump for you. No, that's not in the promise. That man of Genesis 1, he was not told, okay, I've also made water pumps for you. I have made polytanks. Now it's up to you as a man to come and make technologies that are going to help you to take dominion. Take dominion of what? Of creations, of God's creations. So the way to take dominion of that gravitational force is using of a pump. The pump is going to drive the water from the low places, from the tanks that are on the ground, into an elevated tank. And when that water gets into an elevated tank, now that water, you, not anybody else, you can decide where you want to direct that water. You see, that's what we are talking about, taking dominion. You, 100%, not anyone else. There's no other. You, but no other, will take dominion of deciding where to direct that water that is coming from elevated tank, and it's going to go into your showers. And it's going through the showers. It might go through the tank for boiling tank, so it gets water. It gets boiled out and heated, and you get a hot shower. Then gets into your bathtub, you get a hot bath, and it gets into your kitchen. Then you have water in your kitchen for cooking, and everybody lives happily ever after. That's what life is all about. That's what the tree of life is all about. That the tree of life is a tree of abundance. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we are talking. And you see, now companies supplying manufacturing pumps. The pump cannot work on itself alone. The pump, what's a pump? What is to pump? The pump is to expend energy. The pump requires energy. Where is this energy come from? It's going to come from. Is it going to come from electricity being sold by somebody else out there, another man or woman? No, the energy comes from the sun shine itself. All you need is a solar panel. The solar panel, and if you put sufficient solar panels on that same roof, imagine you have the roof, yeah, from Kidani, and that roof can also become a small farm for your solar energy collection. You're harvesting sun energy, which is also given to us by providence. It's given for free, nothing. You don't pay a cent to receive sunshine. Nobody has ever paid even 1 cent to receive sunshine from heaven. So why should we receive sunshine on a continuous basis, and sun comes beating down with hundreds of kilowatts of energy, and then we do not take that energy. What is that? What is that? And then we say we're having a scarcity of electricity supply. No, electricity supply is not scarce. Again, similar to water, the scarcity that we experience is scarcity of imagination. So we need to ascend. So you can see now the fourth partnership. Now I want to help us all understand here. There are 4 partners in this whole business of taking dominion of water. And truly, I tell you, if you try to take dominion and leave one of the partners out, then you are not going to take dominion, because it is all or nothing. Just for those who do not know, there's an underlying principle that's in operation, that you either do everything. If you don't do everything, you do nothing, because if you don't do all that's required in the partnership, then you end up doing nothing. All that work is waste of time. So you take dominion by understanding who must be there in that partnership in order for the partnership to be complete, to be whole or universal. So when you talk about universal, it's not universal like spreading it out to say, I don't know what is universal, a universal concept, one that is complete. So then the final partner we are talking about here is energy provider. And that energy is what comes from solar panels. And so we know that solar energy, we don't have to buy solar energy. All you have to do is buy a panel and fix it on the same roof. And so it means that when every roof, not only should it have gutters, so that's the second partner. So you have the roof partner, we have the gutter making partner, we have the tank partner, we have the pump making partner, and we have the energy partner with the solar panel. 5 distinct partners. And that is the way you take dominion of what? Of abundance of water, with 5 distinct partners. You cannot go there alone. Now the job of the Actuate, luckily, the job of the Actuate Foundation is to assemble all those partners. We bring them together, all of them. Because you can say, oh, how will I get to know all these people? Now, let me tell you, don't worry about details. That's not your work to worry about details. It is as it is written, my ways you do not know of. My ways are past finding out. Remember, that's what Paul was telling to the Romans. When you try to find out, then you get what? You get lost in details. These are details. Leave that way of finding out how to assemble those partners to Actuate Foundation itself. That's what's called foundation. So you get foundational partners for what? Harvesting. 5 distinct partners who must be present. There's a 60th partner who is there. That partner is you. So there are 6 people in that conversation of abundance. Do you understand? 6 people. Partner number 1, yourself and your roofs. Partner number 2 is the roofing company. Partner number 3 is gutter companies. Partner number 4 is the tank companies. Partner number 5 is the pump companies. Partner number 6, solar companies, solar energy companies. That's solar panel. And these are the partners who we're inviting to the summit in Nairobi, in KU, in December. All these partners come together so we can create one festival of the common understanding of abundance. How do we produce this abundance together? It's a festival. Because for all of them, all the partners, including yourself, that's what's called a big business opportunity. Now that's opportunity for you to make money, opportunity for for all those partners to make money as they're selling products to one another. Okay, what is the role of the Actuate token? The Actuate token, then, you can see, is the glue that brings all those partners together. Because Actuate token is the respecter of no persons. Actuate token is going to say, oh, we are very good, we respect only the Mabati people. No. Actuate token will not say, oh, I am only good for the solar people. No. Actuate token will not even say that I'm only good for the tank people. No, Actuate token will not say I am only good for the gutters or for the pumps. Actuate token will say I am good for all of us. So all of us, we hold that one Actuate token, and that Actuate token represents all the partners. And you can see that's why we said Actuate token is a stickiness factor, the factor that helps us to stick together so that we can ascend to that higher state of consciousness, the state of consciousness that knows no scarcity, the state of consciousness that knows only abundance. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? Tell you, it's really powerful. Now, you will only experience this thing in its full flower, full blossom at the Actuate Summit itself. That's when you're going to experience it, because Actuate token, the summit in the workshop is a creative process. What we are talking about is a creative process whereby you can create the future we truly want, where we have understood that we cannot go further without understanding those partnerships. And then we build a roadmap of how those partnerships will work together. And then we create what type of organization we need to create, because ultimately it's all about organization, means organized, getting organized. How do we organize ourselves? Even to form capital using the Actuate token itself to gain access to that higher status of consciousness, the state of abundance. Okay. And I believe it's going to be extremely exciting. So, two things now required of you. One thing is register for the summit course so that we can know who is going to come. If you do not register, again, what is that? You must register so we can know. You can be counted. Number two, besides receiving Actuate tokens in these one-to-one sessions, buy a lot of Actuate tokens for yourself. And also learn how the liquidity pools work. Create liquidity pools, because as this thing opens up, as you're saying, in December, in its full flower, you're going to see all those partners coming in, and the Actuate token is going to be very, very huge demand because of that ascension in consciousness into people who have imagination of how to take dominion of these technologies of abundance. Okay, so I'll stop there because there's a lot to say, but I hope you have understood. You have a sacred duty yourself to, first of all, register for the summit, express interest. Number two, to buy lots of Actuate tokens so you begin having abundance, and you begin creating that state of abundance. I know a number of people have bought Actuate tokens. If you do not know where to buy the Actuate tokens right now, you can go to Liquid Pools, and we're going to be having another lesson right after this, and for the blockchain basics. Join the blockchain basics, or you can ask anyone, or even we have videos on our website which show you how to get Actuate token from Liquid Pools. Okay, back to you, Barbara.
Thank you very much, Dr. Macharia, for your remarks and reminding us about how we can be able to achieve water harvesting. And now that we are coming to the end of the session, I hope everyone has gathered a point or two. And I just want to say that as we conclude the session on shaping the future we truly want on water sustainability, especially water harvesting, it's clear that the journey begins with setting goals and objectives, and these aren't just ideas on paper, they are commitments to a better tomorrow. And by developing a plan, we can chart a path that bridges the gap between today's challenges and the future we aspire to have. And the role of the Actuate token further strengthens the collective efforts, allowing us to innovate and incentivize sustainable water projects. And lastly, together, we have the tools and the vision to create a lasting impact. What we need to do is to stay within the course, get inspired by Actuate tokens, as Dr. has said, and commit ourselves towards the summit. And as we move forward on this roadmap, transforming not only our communities, but also the society at large, which is like the world which has become a global village. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming to the session, for your participation, for listening in and tuning in every Saturday. We have another session on blockchain at 8 p.m. Remember to tune in. And the sessions are also being streamed live on YouTube. So thank you very much, everyone. This being a Learn to Earn session, I have shared the attendance form, and you shall get your Actuate tokens at the end of the month. The meeting is adjourned.